think I asked a lot of questions, and I did have a lot of support from my family. My mom and dad both always really encouraged us to go on to school, my sister and I. And my mom, helping me through the process of filling out applications and just being able to read and find out information on documents that LMU would mail, and so we would make sure we read through everything carefully, and filling out the FAFSA and that process. It was all on paper back then, and it was really hard to do. But once I got the award letter from LMU and saw how much money I was getting and stuff, then it kind of became a little bit clearer.
So I knew that the money I needed for college would have to come from a different source, and luckily I had the need financially for the grant, for the federal grant, and then I also, I had enough, a high enough score, and my GPA was good enough and all that stuff to receive basically a full ride academic scholarship.
Picking up second jobs most of the time, and it helped you meet more people. You had a better surrounding than just your classmates. You actually got experience with how the real world actually operates.
First couple semesters I struggled, and I really had to learn how to devote the time required so that I could progress and make it through it.
So it took about a year to learn study.
It continuously got better. I don't necessarily think the coursework got any easier, but it seemed like by the time I was in my junior and senior year, I learned how to manage my time appropriately.
Luckily, with today's scholarship opportunities with Gear Up Tennessee, they offered me money. With the Hope Scholarship through Tennessee Lottery, I was offered money. And according to your parents' income, you get a Pell Grant, which helped me in the first 2 years, but we lost it in the last 2 years.
I would go to honors band at UT with a friend of mine, so that was really the only campus visit experience I had. And so for the cost, my parents were able to help for a little bit. And so
luckily I received the Hope Scholarship and then the Pell Grant, and then I didn't live on campus, so I lived off campus, and with that I just worked to pay my bills.
Well, I think the biggest part of my life that helped me overcome all that was my involvement in 4-H, actually. So I had done a lot of public speaking, citizenship, etc., but out of that, a lot of those competitions were held at UT on the agriculture campus through their affiliation with through 4-H. So just by, say, going to a public speaking contest, it happened to be in one of the classrooms on a Saturday at the university. So I got to see it, and I think that made it less scary, less mysterious. And then also my friends in 4-H who were much more savvy when it came to applying for college, my friends from other counties, other schools, they would prompt me to apply for scholarships, and then I also went to UT on the Ag campus, so I had a lot of friends who were going there too in other majors. In fact, one of my friends prompted me to apply for a scholarship in the College of Ag, which I ended up receiving, and it paid for 4 years of school there. So
I overcame the barriers for transportation. I had to schedule myself really, really long days to carpool with my dad when he went to work. So I was going to school for 12-hour days. And then I saved up money. I had to work as well. I had to have a part-time job and work to save up money to get a car before my sophomore year began.
Probably the same lesson that I learned from that barrier of learning how to be self-sufficient and sort of self-motivated. I think that it took me a few years. Like I said, my freshman year in college was a wash. It was a fluke. It was bad. And then I did a couple of semesters in community college, and I think that it just took a few years of growing up and really harvesting those lessons that were instilled in me, and probably that I learned from that experience.